Well, now joining us for more analysis on this story from Shiraz is Mr. Ehsan Safarnejad, geopolitical analyst and commentator. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Safarnejad, during this hour's top headlines. Let's go ahead and start off from what Mr. Baghai said. Now, from Iran's perspective, how does this unwavering commitment to an unrestricted missile program serve its broader strategic goals in the region? Is it simply the national defense, or is there something beyond that, in your opinion?
Well, obviously, the first priority and the first objective of the Iranian missile program is its defensive capabilities and this defensive aspect. But I'd like to just comment on something that you said. Ironically enough, before the attack of Israel on Iranian nuclear facilities, the Iranian missile program was actually very restricted by the order of the Iranian leader. There was a video of him saying that he has put a restriction on the range of the Iranian missiles, to which some of the IRGC officers and generals are actually critical of this opinion, this kind of order. But now those restrictions have been more relaxed in order to address the threat of the Israeli regime and the incessant attempts by the Zionist entity to drag more and more countries into war. So yes, now it's in a sense a more relaxed version, but still there are restrictions. And the new Iranian missile, it hasn't been officially unveiled, but it's much more powerful than the most powerful missile that Iran had previously. But as you mentioned in your question, the main objective is actually still defensive. You have Israel, a country that has carried out attacks on not just the countries of the axis of resistance, but also on countries like Qatar and Tunisia. These countries are not part of what they want to call the Iranian axis, but we're talking about a rabid dog that is really unrestricted. It's lashing out on any player in this region, and it has full support of the United States as the most powerful military in the world, that has a military budget that is larger than the next 11 countries, next 10 countries combined. So in that sense, the cause for restricting the Iranian missile program seems very hypocritical, and obviously based on the experience that we had in June, Iran is not going to make that concession in order to appease the kind of actors that only seek to spread terrorism in the region.
Well, exactly. You mentioned some very interesting points. I'd like to go ahead and elaborate a bit more on the hypocrisy that you were speaking about for our viewers, specifically our international viewers. Now, Iran's missile range is often cited as, quote, threatening. How do you respond to analysts and people around the world who continue to point out that, okay, yes, the Iranian missiles are threatening, but also let's remind them that we have U.S. station troops, we have aircraft carriers, we have missile defense systems thousands of miles away from their own borders. And of course, let's not forget the Zionist entity possesses a significant arsenal of its own advanced missiles and, of course, their own nuclear weapons. To what extent is this critique selective?
Well, it falls within the framework at which United States, and more specifically Department of State of United States, behaves. You see them referring to rich people in other countries as oligarchs, but in their country, they're considered to be entrepreneurs. In United States, they really need to crack down on protests because of law and order. But God forbid, if Iran stops rioters, then it becomes authoritarianism. Secret police for countries like Iran, undercover cops for United States, gulag for countries like Russia, but prison labor in United States. So the hypocrisy of United States isn't lost on anyone. Anyone can see it. But, with regards to the things that you actually mentioned, it is absolutely the case. During the past recent months, Israel carried out attacks on 7 different countries. And this is apart from the continuous violation of ceasefire, the supposed ceasefire with the Palestinians. And they have weapons such as over-the-horizon air-launched missiles that they use, Jericho missiles that are, I think, ground-launched missiles, but they have a very large range, and a nuclear program that actually has developed and proliferated nukes, which they seem to be not really pressured about because of the fact that IAEA isn't impartial in this whole endeavor, and it is basically trying to run interference at the behest of the United States and the countries in NATO. But in that sense, considering every capability that United States and Israel have, and the support that Israel received from the entirety of NATO countries, French war minister actually stated that they helped the Israeli regime intercepting certain drones that were launched in a counterattack by Iran. Germany, Spain helped indirectly through replenishing the air defense systems, the air defense system missiles of the United States, Italy, different countries helped Israel, and this is again aside from the already big arsenal of the weapons that they have in Israel itself.
Yes.
So we're so concerned about.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut you off there. I apologize, of course, Mr. Ehsan Safarnejad. I apologize, but our time has run out. A geopolitical analyst and commentator joining us there from Shiraz. Pleasure to have you with us, sir.